This veteran was homeless when he passed away, but the turnout at his funeral was phenomenal. Veteran John Beard was a resident at Jefferson Barracks near St. Louis, Missouri, as part of a homeless veterans program when he was diagnosed with cancer. Beard was estranged from his wife, and not many people even knew him. But that didn't stop a huge crowd of well-wishers from turning up at his funeral. Beard, a 67-year-old Vietnam War veteran, had served in the U.S. Air Force during a conflict that cost the lives of thousands of young Americans. From 1968 to 1971, he'd fought for his country. During that time, he won 4 awards from the military for his service. Yet, when he returned home, Beard was a changed man. Like many servicemen who fought overseas, particularly in Vietnam, he struggled with mental health issues. The war went on to affect the rest of his life, something that the organization American Veterans were keenly aware of. AmVets National Service officer Rich Hogan said, "His greatest battle wasn't the one he fought in Vietnam. The battles he endured when he came home, some of his personal demons, things of that nature he wrestled with, he did his debt to society." It's probable these issues played a part in Beard becoming estranged from his wife and eventually losing his home. Situations like Beard's are a depressingly common problem. In fact, some 12% of adult homeless people are military veterans, and around half of this number fought in Vietnam like Beard. Veterans suffer from a higher than average prevalence of mental health issues, drug abuse, and disabilities. Luckily, there are programs in place to try to correct this troubling phenomenon, and one of these is the Homeless Veterans Group at Jefferson Barracks. Beard was also receiving assistance from AmVets. This organization reaches out to former soldiers all over the United States, offering advocacy and other forms of aid and services. Indeed, it was AmVets that helped secure Beard some disability compensation. Moreover, Rich Hogan and his colleague Jacqueline Inglesby were looking forward to giving Beard the good news about his payout. But the veteran's response was strangely muted, and the reason why soon became apparent when he handed Inglesby a letter. The correspondence confirmed a dreadful diagnosis. Beard had cancer. Worse still, the prognosis was dire. The war veteran's cancer had already reached stage 4. Although Beard hadn't known he was sick, by this stage the cancer had spread to his brain, lungs, and into his bones. Even with treatment, the veteran didn't have much time left. In light of the awful news, Beard called his wife Betty. The couple had been estranged for over a year, and Betty was still living in the same home that Beard had left many months before. Naturally, she was devastated. With Beard's terminal condition in mind, Hogan worked to hold a celebration of life banquet. This was done in part as a way to obtain funds to pay for the ex-airman's funeral. Additionally, the festivity was arranged as a means to raise money for a charity, the Veterans in Need program. It was at this banquet that Beard met Calvin Whitaker, the owner of a local funeral home. Whitaker and his wife were deeply moved by the way Beard had accepted his fate, and the pair felt compelled to offer Beard their funeral services free of charge. "We found out Beard was going to die of stage 4 cancer, so me and my wife decided to reach out and see if we could help them out," Whitaker explained to Fox 2. "We never served in the military, but we love our country, love our vets. Figured it was a small way to repay." As an illustration of their respect for Beard, the Whitakers decided to meet with him twice more before he passed away. During these meetings, they noted down his final requests. Beard called for Frank Sinatra music at the visitation, as well as military honors at the funeral itself. And thanks to these efforts, Beard had the funeral he deserved. When the day came, the Patriot Guard were there to give him a proper send-off at the Whitaker's funeral business. His remains were then taken to Jefferson Barracks, where he was buried. But that wasn't the only sign of respect for Beard shown that day. Dozens of people showed up along the route of the funeral procession to wave flags and to show appreciation for the veteran service. Many of these people didn't know Beard. They simply wanted to display their gratitude. Several people held their hands over their hearts or saluted as the hearse passed by. In fact, many climbed out of their cars and stood in order to show the proper appreciation. Beard's wife Betty saw it all as she passed by and was overcome by the noble series of gestures. In spite of the difficulties she'd had with her estranged husband, Betty said, "I can't thank him enough for being a Vietnam vet. And unfortunately, Vietnam took his life with cancer. Agent Orange. Like all of us, he had his bad times, but on his last breath, he was amends with people and doing the right thing." Moreover, Betty wanted to show her gratitude to some of the bystanders for their respect, so she gave them the thumbs up as she passed by. This had become a popular gesture with her husband, one he'd made many times in his final weeks after he lost the ability to speak easily. When veterans like John Beard return from war, they often carry the scars of conflict back home with them. Many suffer from PTSD, the debilitating effects of which can make life extremely difficult to endure. It's something that Mark Deal, Executive Director of Veterans Resource Center, is acutely aware of. "These guys are heroes. They deserve the best of what we've got," he said.